Jersey. It's all getting rather serious now, isn't it? In 2026, because we are at the knockout phase now, and this is the sixth of these last 32 ties, so 16 of them to go through in this extended tournament, of course, an extra knockout round, and we've already seen Canada, Brazil, Paraguay, Morocco, and earlier Norway make it through to the last 16. And now it's tournament favourites France against Sweden for a place in that last 16. And the winners of which will be huge favourites. They'll play Paraguay, who saw off Germany in a dramatic penalty shootout yesterday. So this will be the destination for the final in about 3 weeks' time. Under 3 weeks' time, and it holds around 82,500. The sun is shining. It's a beautiful day here in the state of New Jersey. And the team news is in. First of all, for the French, they've made 4 changes from the returning. Our thoughts, of course, go out to him and his family following the passing of his mother. He returned to his homeland. He's back here now in America. Lucas Digne is in at left back in place of Theo Hernandez, who takes his place on the bench next to his brother. Saliba returns at centre back, benching Max Lacroix. Rabiot is back in the centre as Kone makes way, and that famous French front four sees one change with PSG's Bradley Barcola in for club teammate Desire Doué. For the Swedes then, it's just the 2 changes for Graham Potter from the side that drew against Japan to take their place in the knockout stages. Tottenham's Lucas Bergvall returns along with Dortmund's Daniel Svensson. Alexander Bernardsson drops to the bench. Isak is unfortunately ruled out through a muscle injury. So just to confirm, the winner of this one will play Paraguay on July the 4th in Philadelphia. France topping their group with 3 wins out of 3. They're one of only 3 teams to have won all 3 of their games in the group phase, along with co-host Mexico and reigning champions Argentina. Sweden with a huge win against Tunisia, followed up by a huge defeat to the Netherlands, and then that draw against Japan. So here are the full lineups for this evening. First of all, the French, then Maynard in goal. Back 4 from left to right. Digne, Saliba, Upamecano, Koundé, just littered with superstars, isn't it, this team? Rabiot and Chouameni holding in midfield. And then the front 4, well, they'll probably do what they like, these front 4. They do interchange. We've got it on the starting lineup with Barcola on the left, Dembélé on the right, and Elise just off of Mbappé, but expect them all to interchange as the afternoon goes on. For the Swedes then, Vidal Zetterström in goal. The 3 centre-backs, Gudmundsson, Lindelof and Lagerbielke. On the left, Stroud, Svensson on the right, and then Ayari and Bergvall in the centre behind Alanga, who's having a pretty decent tournament actually, the Newcastle man. A couple of goals for him. Isak as well, just off of Viktor Gyökeres. On the benches, well, we talked about the superstars that are in the French first 11. Well, the bench isn't too bad either, to be quite honest with you. Agliucci, Cherki, Doué, Gusto, the 2 Hernandez brothers, Kante, Konate, Kone, Lacroix, Mateta, Rissa, Samba, Thuram, and Warren Zaire-Emery. And for the Swedes, Ali, Bernardsson, Ekdal, Johansson, the 2 Johanssons, Herman and Viktor the goalkeeper, Karlström, Nielsen, Nordfeldt, Nygren, Semmer, Smith, Starfelt, Svanberg, and Zanelli. Both teams, I'm pleased to say, because it doesn't happen very often these days, both teams are in their home kits. So we'll have the dark blue of Les Bleus. The French will have the yellow shirts of the Swedes. France, of course, the 2-time champions. Sweden got to the final many years ago, back in 1958. And well, they met in the semi-final that year, actually, the Swedes and the French. Swedes coming out on top and losing the final to a half-decent Brazilian team. But they've got their work cut out tonight, haven't they, against the team that many, in fact most, I think, consider to be the big favourites for this tournament to come away with the title. It's the French. Our referee for this evening is from Curacao, and it's Danny Desmond McKelly. Game gets underway. It's the Swedes to start us off, playing from left to right in the yellow shirts, the blue shorts and the yellow socks. The French in their dark blue shirts, the white shorts and the red socks. Long ball forward towards the edge of the French penalty area, cleared out towards this near side. And there's an early foul there on Lucadine as he tried to clear the ball from the left-back position. What a heavy challenge, as we said, an early one. A welcome to the game from Lucas Bergvall. It was. It'll be a free kick to the French in their left-back position. Lucadine to take it. On it goes to Rabiot back in the side. This afternoon, it was still a very, very strong French side, as we said, that saw off the Norwegians, who themselves rested players, and they have made their way through to the last 16. The late Erling Haaland goal. Haaland, one of many players who's got his eye on the golden boot, of course, and a couple of those players on show this afternoon. Kylian Mbappé and Ousmane Dembélé, 4 goals apiece already this tournament. Mbappé also has got 2 assists. Dembele's got 1 assist to his name. Ball's got out to play down this near side. It's going to be a Swedish throw. Daniel Svensson is going to take this one for Sweden. Throws long over the halfway line. Gyökeres gets a little flick on it. He was having his shirt pulled there by his Arsenal teammate. Indeed, it was. Been an interesting battle, wasn't it, this afternoon here in the sunshine between the 2 Arsenal players. Saliba against Viktor Gyökeres. They must know each other's games inside out, mustn't they? Well, Saliba just holding on to Gyökeres as he backed into his Arsenal teammate. Free kick to Sweden. They've taken it and they've gone all the way back towards their goalkeeper. It was Jakob Vidal Zetterstrom, who plays for Derby County. One ball forward. There's the header clear for Lucadine. Dropped nicely for Elise here. His touch isn't particularly good from Elise, and he gives possession back to Bergvall. Bergvall out towards his near side. Svensson, and it goes towards Alanga. Alanga back to the Spurs man, who plays it back inside his own half. And Lagerbielke inside to Victor Lindelof. Lindelof brings it towards the halfway line, then goes long, right-footed. The run is being made down that left-hand side by Stroud. He just held up on the left-hand side of the penalty. Gets it back to Isak. Opportunity here. Isak, really tame effort. Real opportunity there for the Liverpool striker. Opened up from beautifully left-hand side of the D. Took one touch. He was closed down by Upamecano. It's a really poor shot. Just sort of struck it down into the ground. Didn't get hold of it at all. Isak, be disappointed there because that was a real opportunity early doors for Sweden. Now there's a French player down. It's going to be a free kick, edge of the penalty area, and that French player that's down is Chouameni. So it'll be a free kick to the French. And an early warning sign there. It was a foul actually by Alexander Isak, and I would have thought that was probably a little bit of frustration that he just took out on the Real Madrid man due to that fluffed shot some moments ago. Here's Saliba as the game recommences. Square to his right-hand side as Chouameni drops back slightly, then plays it towards the right-hand side. There's Elise, brings it over the halfway line, knocks it on towards Chouameni, back out towards that right-hand side again, just over the halfway line again. For the ponytailed Elise, just sells that ball a little bit short to Ousmane Dembélé, but Dembélé somehow gets on the end of it and then gets brought down. So free kick, the foul by Yasin Ayari. Dembele's touch was actually quite poor. Allowed the challenge to come in. He just wasn't quick enough to get in there, Ayari, because the ball was loose. And in the end, making contact with the Ballon d'Or winner. So free kick to the French, midway inside the Swedish half, about 15 yards in field from the right-hand touchline. Comes towards that far post. There's the header across the 6-yard area. It's not cleared by the Swedes. Eventually get out towards the near side, headed back into the danger area, and then the header clear out towards the near side, and the French will take the throw as it bounces just in front of Lucadine. So throw in for the French, level with the edge of the penalty area down the French left-hand side. Villas-Dean to take it. Back it goes to Elise. And Saliba back towards the halfway line go the French, just outside the centre circle with Upamecano. Onto Elise again in the central position, leaves it for Saliba. Returns the favourites, Bayern Munich's Elise again, sweeps it out towards the inside right position. Deo Upamecano. As Mbappé, first touch, goes out towards that right side. Dembélé right inside of the penalty area, ball his left foot across the edge to the 18-yard line, and Mbappé just couldn't quite control it. Sweden get it clear long, and Langer will chase. It's got such pace on him. How on earth he's got to that ball before Saliba, I'll never know, but he has. Picks it up and then goes central, midway inside the French half. Moves it for Ayari. And gets the ball back from Ayari. First touch a little bit heavy, loses possession. Disappointing from Langer. Really showed his pace there, but it came to nothing in the end as Elise goes long down the centre. And Barkala will chase, but that will go all the way through to Vidal Zesterstrom, but he was just outside of his penalty area, so he had to clear out a play, the Swedish goalkeeper. Throw into the French, which they've already taken. And there's 2 balls on the pitch at the moment, so it'll be taken again, I think. Mbappé wanted to take a quick one. Mbappé still is going to take the throw in. The referee's still not happy. Well, that would have been a third ball on the pitch. It's almost 6 minutes played here at the New York Stadium. France 0, Sweden 0. French just getting into their stride, you feel, after that early half chance for Alexander Isak. Koundé over on the far side. Midway inside the Swedish half. Now it's Chouameni, just forced back by Isak towards the halfway line. Then goes square to his left and Rabiot. Rabiot's got Lucadine, and just to his left-hand side, goes out towards the near touch line to Barcola. It's a really poor ball, and in the end, Viktor Gyökeres wins it and then gets brought down. It'll be a free kick to Sweden. Graham Potter will be quite happy with the way this game has started thus far. The French, without a sight of goal, is Rabiot with the challenge, by the way, on Viktor Gyökeres. So free kick to Sweden, and it'll be taken by their goalkeeper, Vidal Zesterstrom. Zesterstrom's going to kick long, right-footed, towards the edge of that penalty area. Again, Gyökeres is backing into Saliba, but on this occasion the referee sees in favour of the defender. And ball towards halfway. Elise knocks out towards his near side. Nice 1-2 between himself and Bradley Barcola, and then one back unfairly by Lucas Bergvall. So it'll be a free kick to the French, bringing down Michael Elise on the halfway line, just a few yards in field from the left-hand touchline. Just looking at a replay of it now. Well, it was caught in a sandwich there of Bergvall and Ayari. I think it was the challenge in the end. A foul was from Ayari, the Brighton man. Free kick to France. They've already taken it. Over the halfway line they come towards the right of the centre circle with Upamecano. Threads one through towards Mbappé inside the penalty. That's got too much on it to go all the way through to the goalkeeper. Knocks it out to Blagult, inside of the D. Puts it forward under no pressure whatsoever. The French happy to back off here and allow the Swedes to have possession. He's got Svensson towards his right-hand side. He's still almost waltzing towards the halfway line. Finds Svensson in the end. In the end, it goes long from Mbappé towards the halfway line, but straight to a blue shirt. France have it again in the halfway line. Isak does really well to track back and win it back. Alanga goes long towards the edge of the penalty area. Saliba's going to get there though before Isak. Back to the goalkeeper. First time clearance from Maynard, and beautifully brought down by Lucadine down this near side. Infield to Rabiot. Rabiot currently plying his trade at AC Milan. 31 years of age now, Rabiot. Back to Upamecano, now towards Koundé. Over the halfway line it goes to Dembélé. Dembélé down the line. Saw the run that was being made by Michael Elise and knocked it down the line with the outside of his boot, but out of play. Throw in for Sweden. They've gone back towards the edge of their own penalty area. Here's Victor Lindelof. Lindelof closed down by Mbappé and towards Bergvall. First time ball out towards the left-hand touchline. Here's Ayari, and then immediately it goes back to Lindelof again on the left-hand corner of the penalty area towards the fair-haired Bergvall. Now Lindelof again. It's got Mbappé trying to pick his pocket just behind him. Goes long towards the halfway line. A particularly good ball to nobody in particular. The ball is loose now midway inside the Swedish half. It's the French who come away with it, with the cushion header by Rabiot towards Koundé over on that far side. It's now back inside the centre circle with William Saliba. Takes it towards the left-hand side. Lucadine makes the run down the flank. He's got Barcola ahead of him, but decides to go all the way back to the Arsenal man just to the left of the centre circle. The French, unsurprisingly, dominating the possession here in New Jersey. But no side of goal thus far. Rabiot again, closed down by Bergvall, goes back out towards the inside right position again at Chouameni. Elise knocks it back towards that far side of Dembélé again. Patient build up from Didier Deschamps' men. They have a try down the left-hand side now with Lucadine. The touch is a little bit heady from Rabiot, and Isak's won it back now. Gyökeres is making the run. Can he thread it through towards the Arsenal man, rushing out towards the right side of the penalty? Good strength shown by Gyökeres there. Knocks it back down the line towards Svensson, and that's held up, and they've still got possession, the Swedes, but the French are back in numbers here. Again, it's with the number 8 Svensson right side of the penalty area, leaves it for Alanga. He's level with the edge of the penalty area, goes back for Bergvall. So we've got a pedestrian at the moment from the Swedes. They really need to take advantage of Alanga's pace when they do steal the ball from the French as they did there on the edge of their own penalty area. Opens up a little bit here for Yari. Goes for the 1-2 between himself and Stroud. Didn't work out. Stroud sold him short. French clear out of play. It will be a throw-in for the Swedes. 10 minutes played here in New Jersey. France 0, Sweden 0. Throw-in will be taken by Daniel Svensson. The Borussia Dortmund man. Used to playing in yellow, of course. Towards the edge of the penalty area. It's cleared along by France. And go to play, I think, again, will it? Just drops down towards this near side. Indeed, Elise does try and keep it in play. Can't do so. Out of play. Swedish throw just a few yards inside the French half down this right-hand side. Svensson takes it again. Rabiot gets the header clear for the French, but it drops kindly for Yari. Out towards the far side it goes. Stroud, good pace, left-hand side of the penalty area. Oh God, but he gets it all wrong. Goodness me, he gets it all wrong. Goes for the cross, and it's as close to the corner flag as it is the goal. It's a really disappointing one. A few signs of encouragement though for the Swedes. They are huge underdogs here this afternoon. Nobody really expecting a great deal from them, despite their decorated forward line that they have with Gyökeres, Isak and Alanga. They've all got goals to their name in this tournament. Over the halfway line come the French. Jules Koundé. Infield to Elise. Elise takes it in centre. Here's Mbappé, edge of the penalty area, working space for the shot. Still Mbappé. Goes out towards the right side. Koundé again. He's got Dembélé ahead of him. Finds the PSG man. Knocks it down towards the byline. Looking for the corner. And in the end, I think the last touch has come off of Dembélé. Indeed it has. And it's really good. The defensive work in the end by Gudmundsson actually over on that far side. Goal kick for the Swedes. 12 minutes played. Didier Deschamps, of course, ending his tenure. His very successful tenure, of course, as French manager at the end of this tournament. And title to his name, of course. Goal kick. Vidal Zesterstrom goes long. Again looking for Gyökeres. Gyökeres does manage to get something on it, but can't find a yellow shirt, and Rabiot managed plays it back to Mike Maynard, right inside of the 6-yard area. It takes one touch and then kicks long right-footed. It sails over the halfway line. Lindelof with the towering header clear for the Swedes out towards the far side. Knocked on again by Gyökeres, but Isak was in an offside position, so had to leave it. Allows it to bounce beyond him, and Koundé brings it clear for the French. Saliba infield to Upamecano. He's now inside the centre circle. Goes out towards Koundé again over on the far side. Brings it over the halfway line, right the centre circle. It's going to go long, right-footed. It's a poor ball, it really is. And then the cushioned header down by Margabielka to Lindelof. Lindelof is closed down quickly by Elise. Goes back to his goalkeeper, takes one touch, and then rams it long. Far too long. Just goes through to his opposite number, Maynard on the edge of his own penalty area. Knocks it out to Saliba and sets the French on their way once more. Rabiot, left-hand side of the centre circle, over the halfway line, onto Lucas Digne. In fact, Lucas Digne leaves it for Rabiot. Rabiot twisting, turning, is brought down there though by Bergvall. That'll be a free kick to the French, but inside the Swedish half. A few yards of field from the left-hand touchline, taken quickly by Adrien Rabiot. Finds Koundé, down the line to Dembélé. Haven't seen much of Dembélé so far. Now then, what can the World Player of the Year do now? Twisting, turning over on the far side, cuts in field, goes round one, goes round two. He's actually retreating back towards the halfway line just to retain possession here, Dembélé, and then knocks it out towards the left-hand side of the penalty area. Bradley Barcola infield to Mbappé, traps it under his right boot, puts the afterburners on, looking for space for the shot as he back onto his left foot, scoops it back out towards the left-hand side of the penalty area. Lucas Digne now, just pushed back a little bit by Svensson. Goes back to Barcola. Mbappé again. He's got so many yellow shirts around him every time he gets on the ball. Mbappé, but he manages to loop one out to Koundé. Koundé tries to get the cross in. That takes a deflection. That'll be our first corner of the afternoon/evening, depending on where you are. Certainly afternoon in New Jersey. And the French have the first corner in the 16th minute. Still France 0, Sweden 0. It's been all France. But the only sight of goal either team has had is actually Alexander Isak at the other end inside the first couple of minutes. In comes this corner. Headed clear on the edge of the 6-yard area. Be retrieved about 35 yards from goal by Lucas Digne. He's going to go for goal, Digne. It's a decent effort. It's on target. And stretching diving down towards this left-hand side. Jakob Vidal Zetterstrom grabs it. And more importantly, he keeps hold of it as well, because if he'd spilt that one, and then the likes of Mbappé and Bradley Barcola were happy to pick up the pieces. Here's Lindelof inside the D. Square to Blagult. Goes down by Elise, but goes infield to Ayari over the halfway line. Nice first touch by Isak, then out towards the far side. This is good from the Swedes, although they've gone all the way back inside their own half again when in a decent position. And Lindelof in the end goes long, and that's a waste from the Aston Villa man as he goes all the way through to Mike Maynard, who touches it off and sets the French on their way again with Chouameni into Elise. Central again for the Bayern Munich man, playing a more, certainly he's playing a far more central role in this French side, certainly tonight he is anyway, and he does at Bayern Munich. There's an opportunity for Bradley Barcola down this near side to make a run at Svensson. Goes infield to Mbappé, goes for the shot, again it's off target, it's a tame one from the Real Madrid man. Straight down the throat of Vidal Zetterstrom, right-footed, about 30 yards from goal. Didn't get hold of it at all, Mbappé. Goalkeeper goes long. Touched on by, or cleared by Upamecano, and plenty of space for Chouameni to bring this ball over the halfway line for the French. Leaves it for Rabiot on his left-hand side. Rabiot's going to find Luca Dean, they go inside the Swedish half. Down the line it goes to Barcola. Preferred to Desire Doué this evening for Didier Deschamps. Luca Dean again, left-hand side of the penalty area. Back infield to Elise. Step over from him as he takes the ball more centrally, and then finds Koundé over on the far side. Down the line to Dembélé. Dembélé is challenged, and Dembélé loses possession. Hasn't started the game particularly well, Dembélé. Long ball down the line. Now then, can Gyökeres show his strength? He can once again. He's brought down by his Arsenal teammate. No love between those two. It's really good from Gyökeres. He knows exactly what he's doing. Gets there ahead of Saliba and then just backs into him. And in the end, his teammate brings him down. And he gets another free kick there, Gyökeres. So this is an opportunity for the Swedes heading into the 19th minute here at the New York Stadium. France 0, Sweden 0. It was Gyökeres' goals in those playoff games, wasn't it, that saw Sweden through after a disastrous qualifying campaign. They came good through the Nations League, which got them into the playoffs, and they never looked back after that. Free kick then is just a few yards inside the French half, and a few yards infield from the left-hand touchline. The French defensive line just inside the 18-yard box, and it'll be taken by Svensson, left-footed, and it comes now towards the far post, and the French will smuggle it clear by Barcola down this near side. Brilliantly won back though by Bergveld. Really well-timed challenge by him. Infield, the ball goes there. It's the cross, a low ball in this time by Ayari. The French have got it clear. Can Dembélé steal it? No, he can't. Long ball loop forward towards the edge of the French penalty area. Beautifully brought down by Luca Dean and cleared down this near side. Here's Rabiot. Rabiot racing towards the halfway line. Goes now to Barcola. Barcola cuts infield, does well past Blagult, continues his run towards the edge of the penalty area. This is opening up well for Bradley Barcola. This would be amazing. Oh, and he balloons the shot over the bar. What a goal that would have been. He just danced his way into that Swedish penalty area. Nobody really willing to close him down. And when it opened up beautifully for him, left-footed, he snatched it into Barcola. He did everything right up until that point. The feint when he was inside the penalty area, when it looked like he was going to go to his left, went to his right, and then left-footed blazes it over the bar. And that is without doubt the biggest moment of this last 32 games so far. Bradley Barcola couldn't provide the finish that it deserved from the run. Now ball down the centre, and Mbappé, is he onside? He's clean through. Kylian Mbappé scores for the French. But no, he doesn't. The flag is up. Did he go too early, Mbappé? He thought he got his 5th of the tournament. We're looking at a replay of it now. He's onside. This is going to be given, I'm almost certain. I've just seen the angle, and I think VAR are going to clear this up. I think this is a goal for Mbappé. I wouldn't mind seeing another angle of it, but it looks as if Mbappé has timed that run to perfection. But let's see what VAR has to say. 20 minutes played here in New Jersey, and indeed it has been overruled. I'd love to see the lines on that one because I've only seen one replay of it, and he looked onside. It was very, very tight. You're talking a cigarette paper's width that he must have been offside, Mbappé. The only good thing is, I have to say, is they do clean these things up. They do clear them up very, very quickly in the World Cup. I mean, barely had a break at all in play there. But my goodness, was it close as Vidal Zetterström there went to clear for Sweden, and he was closed down quickly. And almost an embarrassing moment for the Derby County goalkeeper. It's not going to play anywhere down this near side. The Swedes will have a throw in halfway line, right inside. Svensson throws it long towards the edge of that French penalty area. The French get it clear, already up towards the halfway line. Elise battling with it. Can Elise win it? Well, he can, but unfairly, says the referee, because he's brought down Yasin Ayari. Free kick to the Swedes. And we're nearly midway through the first half, and we'll get our infamous hydration break in a minute, which no doubt will be met with a chorus of boos, as it has in pretty much every stadium in this tournament so far. Free kick then to Sweden, right side of the centre circle. Lagerbielke out towards his near side, and Svensson immediately plays it back inside his own half. Goes long in the end, but that's going to have far too much on it, and Luca Dean will just watch that ball go out of play, and it'll be a goal kick to the French, who were so close to going in front. I'm looking at a replay of it now, so I'm going to get the lines that were drawn. Let's see how close this was. Oh my goodness me, it's so close, yeah. It's very, very tight. And Mbappé took it beautifully, by the way, when he did run through on goal, slotted it right-footed beyond the goalkeeper towards his left-hand side, but he was half a yard if that offside, and let off for the Swedes. The French have it again. We are now midway through the first half, and the next time the ball goes out of play, we will get the hydration break. But here's Rabiot. Fancy inside the Swedish half, knocked out towards the near side. Luca D down the line against Rabiot. Rabiot is challenged there. We're going for the hydration break by the looks of things. There's the chorus of boos, obviously. And we'll have a little break now. To be fair, there is almost need for it in this stadium. We've seen it before in air-conditioned stadiums where it's seemed completely pointless. We've seen it in games where the rain has been pouring down, but it is fairly sweaty here in New Jersey this afternoon, where it remains France 0, Sweden 0. Remember, you can follow the match on your national broadcaster. You are listening to independent studio-based off-tube commentary of the group match, of the knockout match, I should say, between France and Sweden. We are at the knockout stage now, and just to remind you of what's happened so far in the knockout. South Africa 0, Canada 1, so one of the three. We could get all three of the home nations getting through, of course. South Africa 0, Canada 1, so 1 out of 1 so far. Brazil 2, Japan 1. It was a very, very late goal, wasn't it, from Gabriel Martinelli that turned things around there for the Brazilians, who were trailing by a goal to nil at half-time in that one. Germany 1, Paraguay 1, and that one went to penalties. The Paraguayans coming out on top. Germany losing their first in the World Championship, the first penalty shootout. Netherlands 1, Morocco 1, another penalty shootout. And the Netherlands don't tend to have a lot of luck from 12 yards out, do they? They've lost another penalty shootout there. The Moroccans going through, semi-finalists last time round. And earlier today, Ivory Coast 1, Norway 2. Norway, they left it late as well. Erling Haaland, who else, with the winner in that one after they were pegged back after earlier leading by a goal to nil. And after this one, France versus Sweden. It's the second of the home nations, Mexico against Ecuador. And Mexico looking to make it through to the next round, where they could play England, who play the Democratic Republic of Congo. We then got Belgium versus Senegal, Americans, the third home nation, against Bosnia, Spain, the Euro champions, against Austria, Portugal against Croatia, Switzerland v Algeria, Australia versus Egypt, and then Argentina, Cape Verde, followed by Colombia, Ghana. That concludes the round of 32, and then it moves immediately on to the round of 16, which start on Saturday with the first game, which is Canada against Morocco. In fact, the only two games that have been confirmed so far in that round of 16. Canada against Morocco and Brazil against Norway. The winners of this one will play Paraguay on Saturday. That will be the second of the round of 16 ties. So it's quite a quick turnaround. On to the next game. Here it remains goalless. The French have had the ball in the back of the net through Kylian Mbappé, ruled out by VAR for a tight offside decision. And the game about to recommence now with the Swedes having a throw-in down this near side to be taken by Svensson, midway inside their own half. They go long. The French get it clear, and then Bergveld heads it back down towards this near touchline, but it's gone out of place. The French will have a throw-in midway inside their own half down their left, and Lucadine immediately throws it back to Mike Maynard just on the edge of his 6-yard area, out to Upamecano, advancing towards the halfway line, on towards Tchouaméni. Tchouaméni goes square to his left. Saliba takes the ball in his stride, then plays it over the halfway line out towards this near touchline. And Barcola was half asleep there. Goes out of play. Just took his eye off the ball for a second there, Bradley Barcola. There's been talk about him potentially leaving the Parc des Princes in the summer. Throw which Svensson has taken. Towering header clear by Rabiot. And they're getting a free kick here, the Swedes. It's good work as well by Yasin Iyari to win that ball and invite the challenge from Adrien Rabiot. So the free kick to the Swedes, just outside the centre circle, inside the French half, just to right of centre. The foul from Rabiot, and the ball is being placed down at the moment by looks as if Iyari's going to take it himself, actually. Indeed he is. Goes low towards the edge of the penalty. Oh, and Isak couldn't quite get on it. That was a brilliantly worked free kick. Isak's leg just wasn't long enough. It was just played low into the box. Isak makes the run from the left-hand side to the right side of the penalty, and then about 8 yards out, he gets something on it, I think. But it just trickles through to Mike Maynard. I think it was going in anyway. I think it was going wide anyway, even if Maynard hadn't saved it. But well worked. Just didn't have the finish. It deserved that move there, straight off of the training ground. Here's Rabiot, left-hand side of the centre circle, back in field to William Saliba. It's over the halfway line. Rabiot again, ball with pace this time. Mbappé out towards Elise. Elise holds it up, level the edge of the penalty here, back in field to Mbappé. Mbappé again, 3 yellow shirts around him, managed to smuggle it out to Tchouaméni, on towards the inside right position, and Dembélé goes for the cross-come shot, takes a deflection, goes behind, and the French will have their second corner of the afternoon. Won by Ousmane Dembélé. I think he was going for goal there, Dembélé, actually. Corner from the far side, and Dembélé himself might go over and take this one as well. It's a short one for the French. Dembélé gets it back, cross in, and there's the header clear from Lindelof on the edge of the 6-yard area, all the way towards the halfway line. Rushing out of his goal comes Mike Maynard, touches it on towards Tchouaméni and sets the French on the way again. On to Rabiot in the inside left position. Lucadine now takes it back in field, but just retreating back towards the halfway line as he's pushed back by Svensson. 1-2 between himself and Mbappé. Mbappé now is hugging the touchline down this left-hand side for the French. Cuts in field. Back to Tchouaméni again. Finds Koundé towards his right-hand side. Dembélé. Upamecano. Everybody now bar Mike Maynard inside the Swedish half. Happy to sit back the Swedes. Organised, disciplined thus far. Here's Tchouaméni again, leaves it for Rabiot, inside the Swedish half. Now Lucadine, down the line to Barcola. It's been quiet so far, Barcola. Apart from that dazzling run, of course. He took him inside the penalty and then he blazed over the bar when he should have scored, or he certainly should have hit the target. Koundé. Elise over on that far side, goes all the way back to Saliba inside the centre circle, sets the French on the way towards the left-hand side now with Lucadine. Still advancing towards the edge of the penalty area. Picked up now by captain Mbappé. Mbappe's going to float one out towards the far side. Spots Elise in space, who's rushed over towards that far side. Michael Elise, there's the left-footed cross. Oh, it's a really inviting one as well. And the Swedes managed to get it clear towards the edge of the penalty area. Elise himself retrieves it just outside the D. Mbappé, ball on his right boot. Now then, Rabiot. Oh, it hits the goalkeeper's left leg and it's gone behind. It's ricocheted behind. I think the last touch coming off a Lindelof. It's gone behind for a corner. It's a brilliant ball through by Mbappé to Rabiot. Left-footed from a tight angle. Drills it across the goalkeeper, who sticks out his leg. It's a really good save. Instinctive save, actually, for the goalkeeper. And the ball just hits Lindelof. He didn't know too much about it. And the Aston Villa man. It's gone behind for a corner. Elise left-footed, in it comes. It'll be clear towards the edge of the penalty area. The French have it once more, though. Koundé. Mbappé. Now, lovely skill by Mbappé. Koundé, right inside of the penalty area. It's going to be another French cross, is it? French corner. And the ball coming off of... the last touch was off Goodmanson. As Koundé trying to get the ball in. So another corner for the French. Right-footed outswinger. There's the edge of the 6-yard area. Again, the Swedes have dealt with it. It'll drop for Dembélé over on the far side, will it? Yes, it will. Dembélé down towards the byline. Koundé, can he cut it back? Mbappé! He's hit the post. Goodness me. Should have scored. It should be 1-0 to the French. He can't believe it, Mbappé. It was brilliantly worked by Dembélé and Koundé. He was onside. He cuts it back. And from about 8 yards out, right-footed with a goal at his mercy, Kylian Mbappé. He hits the post. And it's cleared, and the Swedes survive, but goodness knows how. It was a simple finish for Mbappé. It was put on a plate for him by Koundé. A really, really well-worked move right inside of the penalty. They're hanging on a little bit here, the Swedes, at the moment. It's still goalless. Here's Mbappé again. Scoops it forward, gets the ball back left-hand side of the penalty area. It's just getting going, isn't he, Mbappé? Left-hand side of the penalty area, more twisting, more turning. Scoops the ball in towards the edge of the 6-yard area. The Swedes get it clear. No outlet at the moment, though. Saliba sets the French on the way again. Koundé, inside right position, knocks it onto Dembélé. Dembélé lets Koundé run past him. Elise infield if he needs it. Goes for Rabiot. 30 yards from goal, central. Rabiot's going to have a go here. Rabiot with the effort, left-footed, always rising. Not a bad effort, though, from the AC Milan man. And it's gone a couple of yards over the bar. The keeper was just stood rooted to the spot. If that was on target, it was 1-0. There was no way that Vidal Zetterstrom was going to get there. Looking back at that miss from Mbappé, though, he's got to score, Mbappé. The goal was at his mercy. The goalkeeper was rushing across his line to try and get there, but there was absolutely no way. If that was on target, it was 1-0. And it strikes the post. It's gone behind for a kick eventually following that shot from Rabiot. Decent effort from Adrien Rabiot. And you can follow the match on your national broadcaster. You are listening to independent studio-based off-tube commentary of this round of 32 game between France and Sweden. It's currently France 0, Sweden 0. It's been France pretty much from the get-go. Looked forward by Dembélé. Lindelof will deal with that one. In fact, Lindelof will just allow it. Well, that was a strange one. He allowed the ball to go back to the goalkeeper so he could pick it up. And the goalkeeper just puts it out of play for a throw-in. He could have picked that ball up. Maybe he didn't realise. Throw-in for the French, because they've already taken. They've gone all the way back towards the halfway line. Saliba has it inside the centre circle. On to Rabiot. Rabiot's going to find Barcola. Barcola, Lukadin's made the overlap. Here he is. Goes back in field, though, to Rabiot. Rabiot finds Chouameni. First time to ball from Mbappé. Koundé now down the line to Dembélé. Dembélé 1-2 between himself and Koundé. Goes back out to the Barcelona man over on the far side. Now Elise. Elise right inside of the penalty area. 2 yellow shirts around him. Mbappé knocks it in field to Chouameni. Just sells him a little bit short. And they're going to get a free kick there, the Swedes, because Gyökeres got there ahead of Chouameni. Mbappé just sold him a little bit short. And that allowed Gyökeres to get in there. And he's brought down. It'll be a free kick and then a little bit of respite, really, for the Swedes. Just over 10 minutes to half-time. Still goalless. And this free kick will be taken by Jakob Zetterstrom. Zetterstrom puts the ball down just outside of his own penalty area. Kicks them right-footed. Out towards that far side. Gyökeres volleys it on towards the edge of the penalty area, but it's too far ahead of Isak and goes all the way through to Mainen, who bowls it out to Saliba, onto Rabiot. Rabiot onto Mbappé now. Mbappe's going to thread one through towards Barcola. It's cleared. It'll fall for Rabiot, though. Rabiot knocks it on again towards Barcola, half cleared, and then, oh, what an effort! Oh, it hits the post! What an effort! And then the rebound is put wide, my goodness, from Dembélé. We nearly had the goal of the tournament from Michael Olise with the swinging bicycle kick, left-footed, hits the post, comes back to Dembélé. He's got to score, Dembélé, I think. And he's placed it over the bar. What an effort! Right-footed, swivelling over the head from Olise from about 14 yards out. It's an incredible effort. Keeper's beaten it, hits the post, the other post to the one that Mbappé hit. It comes back to Dembélé. Again, the goal at his mercy. And he puts it a yard or so wide of the goalkeeper's right-hand post. How on earth are the French not winning this game? They've hit both posts. Now Blagult at the other end. This could be interesting. Oh, my goodness. It almost came through to Isak. He just needed a touch, the Liverpool man. And suddenly, from nothing, the Swedes completely against the run of play. What a ball in that is from Blagult. It just needed a flick from Isak. He gets there ahead of the defender, Ousmane, and he doesn't touch it at all, actually, Isak. He completely misses the ball. If he gets that little flick on from about 6-7 yards out, it's 1-0 Sweden, totally against the run of play. So the French, Mbappé hitting the post, Olise hitting the post, Dembélé blazing over with a goal at his mercy, and it's still goalless somehow. The French have won it again, and there's a strong challenge there by Lindelof, which is the referee giving the free kick on him for Olise. The challenge from Lindelof. Well, you say that probably wants the first yellow card of the game. Just going to replay it now. Yeah, it's not a particularly clever one from Lindelof. The ball came to the ex-Manchester United man, and his first touch is really poor. That allows Olise to get in there, and Olise then is favourite for the ball. And stretching Lindelof with his right boot brings down the Bayern Munich man. And it's going to be a free kick, I think, to the French. Olise, I'm pleased to say, is back on his feet, but my goodness, he nearly scored the goal of the tournament there. That bicycle kick, right-footed, is unbelievable. It's so deserved to go in. And how Dembélé didn't put the rebound in, I'll never know. A man of his talent with a goal at his mercy puts it a yard wide of the goalkeeper's right-hand post. And it's still goalless. Pleased to say Michael Olise is okay. We've got just over 7 minutes to half-time. France 0, Sweden 0. Only the French will know how it's still goalless with the chances they've had. And by the way, the XG for the first 37, 38 minutes now. The French's XG is actually 0.79, which really surprises me, because the chance that Mbappé missed where he hit the post, well, that seemed a dead cert, as did the Dembélé follow-up on the Michael Olise shot that hit the post. Challenge now from Bergval on Mbappé has resulted in a free kick to the French down this near side. Michael Olise will take it. It's about 30 yards from the byline and about 10 yards infield from the left-hand touchline. And Michael Olise is going to take it. Olise now. Left-footed towards the far post. It's a good delivery as well. And the Swedes have got it clear out towards the far side. Surely they need to go long here. It's good work actually by Stroud to get it cleared. In the end, he's just drawn the foul. It was it looked like a combination of Upamecano and William Saliba trying to win the ball back, and it's resulted in a free kick to Sweden in their left-back position. Just looking to replay of that cross that came in. It hit Upamecano. I don't think he knew too much about it. And 8 yards from goal. It was almost sort of a defensive headed clearance in the end. Really good work though over on that far side by Elliot Stroud to draw that foul from, well, it could have been Upamecano and Saliba, to be fair. He was in a French sandwich there. There's a baguette, maybe you could say. Ball loose on the halfway line. Rabiot knocks it on to Olise. Back to Rabiot. This is promising for the French. Can he smuggle it through to Mbappé? Mbappé! Right-footed shot straight at the goalkeeper. Bounced in front of him. Could have been awkward. Just opened up beautifully there for Mbappé. That's exactly what he's looking for. First touch is brilliant, and the shot is really poor from about 25 yards out. He could have taken the ball on further, to be fair, as well, towards the penalty area, perhaps inside the penalty area, inside the last 5 of the first half. France 0, Sweden 0. The ball is loose down this near side, and the Swedes have come away with it. In fact, they've won a free kick. The challenge by Rabiot on Lucas Bergveld has resulted in a free kick to Sweden, middle inside the French half, just a yard or two infield from the right-hand touchline. And yeah, just nicked his left foot there, Adrien Rabiot. Free kick will be taken by Yasin Ayari. French defensive line just on the edge of the 18-yard line. Now, can they create something here completely against the run of play, the Swedes? They've been under the cosh in this first half. They've been hanging on. But football's a funny game, and it comes. It's a really poor delivery, actually. Cleared up towards the right side of the penalty area. The French can bring it clear. And down the line it goes from Kunde, but a really poor touch by Elise. Goes out of play, throw to Sweden. Inside the French half, Swedish left-hand side. And this one will be taken by Lindelof. Down the line it goes. There's the header there from Upamecano. Really well kept in play over on the far side for the Swedes. But Elise's won the ball back now. Elise opens up a little bit. The Swedes are a little bit stretched here. Mbappé now advancing towards the edge of the penalty area. Barcola, left-hand side of the penalty area. There's the cross. Will it fall for Mbappé? No, it won't. And the Swedes get it clear, but they'll come again. Upamecano. Now Elise. Left-footed shot. Elise! A couple of yards wide of the goalkeeper's right-hand post. He's looked really lively today, Elise. He's been quite quiet, actually. So much chat about him prior to this tournament that maybe he was going to be the French superstar of this tournament rather than Mbappé or Dembélé, but it's been those two getting all the headlines so far. But Elise, he certainly would have got the headlines if that bicycle kick had gone in earlier on. And there, left-footed curling effort from just outside the D, a couple of yards wide of the goalkeeper's right-hand post. So we can go long. Knocked on by Bergveld, was right inside of the penalty area, but Upamecano was there to clear, cool as a cucumber. Now it's Rabiot. Rabiot's going long down the line. It's one to chase for Barcola. Barcola's going to get there now, down towards the byline. And then really good defending by Svensson. Puts the ball out of play. It's a throw into the French, right next to the corner flag, down the French left. Elise is going to take this one. Couple of minutes to half time here in New Jersey, still goalless. And I thought the ball had gone out of play for a throw, but it must have gone the other side of the corner flag because it's gone behind for a corner. Left-footed from Elise, in it comes. Headed clear by Lindelof. Dembélé retrieves. Goes back to Kunde. Kunde back out towards the right side of the penalty area. Again, it's Ousmane Dembélé. Low ball into the box, looking for... I think he was looking for Chouameni in the end, but the Swedes have got it clear. They've gone long. Here comes Mike Mainen. Touches it on to Rabiot. Can the French get their noses in front before half-time? They probably deserve to be in front. Chouameni. Square to Kunde. Right inside of the centre circle. Dembélé hugging the touchline over on the far side, and it goes out to the PSG man now. Can he cause some trouble here? Back in field to Kunde. Kunde inside the penalty, gets a shot in, it's blocked. And the Swedes have just about prevented the corner, and they've got it clear over on the far side. They'll have a break on here if they play this right. There's the ball down the line towards Isak. It's not a particularly good one, and it's tidied up by Upamecano, who goes back to his goalkeeper. Upamecano to Rabiot. Rabiot's closed down by Blagult. We've seen a lot of Blagult since that first sort of 5-10 minutes or so, where his pace looked like it could trouble the French on the break. They've not exploited that at all, the Swedes. They really haven't. Here's Kunde. He's going to leave it for his captain Mbappé. Dembélé. Now it's Elise over on the far side. Back to Mbappé. Elise again. It's opening up a little bit for Elise. Ball on his left foot. Is he going to get the shot? It is! And it's fingertip behind for a corner by Del Zetterstrom. He looks the most likely at the moment, Michael Elise. Left-footed low towards the goalkeeper's right-hand side. It's a really good save by the goalkeeper, getting down low. Corner for France. They've gone short this time. Mbappé inside the penalty area. That is world class from Kylian Mbappé, who scores his 5th goal of the tournament, and he breaks the deadlock in the last minute of the first half. Kylian Mbappé just loves these tournaments, doesn't he? And he's done it yet again for his country. His 61st goal for France, and he gives them the lead, a deserved lead as well for the title favourites. We've just entered stoppage time at the end of the first half. It's France 1, Sweden 0, and it's Kylian Mbappé again, the Real Madrid superstar, with his 5th of the tournament. It's just a brilliantly worked short corner. Michael Elise, and then it's knocked on inside the penalty area. Mbappé with a step over, cuts inside, ball on his right foot, curls it in from about 8 yards out. It's just a delicious goal from one of the world's greats, Kylian Mbappé. And they deserve this lead, the French, they really do. And they've got it through Kylian Mbappé, who gets his 5th of the tournament. And he's just one behind a certain Lionel Messi now at the top of the goal scoring charts. The golden boot, of course, which Mbappé is after. Game kicks off again. We're inside stoppage time, 3 minutes to add on. And the Swedes are going to have to change their whole setup here, really, aren't they? They have possession on the edge of the French penalty. It goes up to Elanga, level with the edge of the penalty area. Elanga the 1-2, that's really well worked now. He needs the good cross. Elanga, what a cross! Will it fall through Gyökeres? Oh, and it's blazed well wide in the end. What a huge opportunity. I think the shot in the end came in from Elliott Stroud. But what a brilliantly worked move down this right-hand side. Elanga down to the byline. And somehow, I've got to give credit to Jules Koundé, who somehow gets there ahead of Gyökeres to ensure that the Arsenal man didn't tap in for an equaliser for the Swedes. Brilliantly worked. The 1-2 between Elanga and Daniel Svensson down the right side was brilliantly. Down towards the byline he went, fist in the cross low towards the 6-yard area. And Gyökeres looked favourite, but somehow Koundé got something on it to get it clear. And he cleared it to Elliott Stroud, who blazed it over the crossbar. And it remains France 1, Sweden 0. But here comes Sweden again. Well, they've lost the way there, but the French have given it back to them there. A little bit of charity, really, from the French, for anything. Out to Elanga, right side of the penalty area. Good defending by Luca Dean. Won't let him pass. He's still got possession. Elanga is going to do it again for that 1-2. He has. Oh, he's gone down under a challenge under Luca Dean. And the referee has seen it the other way. Well, they thought they had the penalty. Well, he's offside. Well, I'd love to see that again, because I thought he was brought down by Luca Dean, but of course if he's offside, it's all irrelevant. And in fact, it was Daniel Svensson who was offside, and he certainly was. The 1-2 again, it comes to Elanga. Elanga certainly was having his arm pulled by Luca Dean, but it was all irrelevant because Daniel Svensson was offside in the build-up, and it remains France 1, Sweden 0. They've ended the half with a bit of a flourish here, the Swedes, haven't they? A couple of moves down the right-hand side involving Svensson and Elanga. Goal kick then for Mike Maynard to take. And then I think we'll have our half-time whistle here in the New York Stadium in New Jersey. Remember, you can follow the match on your national broadcaster. Ball goes out of play down this near side. Kylian Mbappé with the goal in the 45th minute. Brilliant goal as well it was. Throw in, which Luca Dean is going to take. Played 4 minutes of stoppage time now. Still on we go. And there goes the half-time whistle. And it's the tournament favourites who are ahead. They had chances. Mbappé hit the post. He had one ruled out for a tight offside. Michael Elise hit the post in what would have been goal of the tournament with a bicycle kick. Dembélé blazed over what he should have done better. But Mbappé got there in the end. A brilliantly worked short corner, resulting in the opener for France in the 45th minute. Half-time here in New Jersey. It's France 1, Sweden 0. We'll be back in 15 minutes for the second half.
Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary.
in midfield, and Orlando on the right side. And it was Alexander Isak up top for the Swedes. So no changes at half-time confirmed. On the benches, first of all for the French, very experienced bench as well for them. Aguiuchi, Cherki, Doué, Gusto, two Hernandez brothers, Kante, Konate, Kone, Akwa, Mateta, Wissa, Samba, Turan, and Zaire Emery. There's hurl a throw into the box cleared by the French, and the ball looped forward towards Isak here, and Kunde will get there before him. He's brought down in fact by the Liverpool striker. Free kick the France in their right back position. On the bench then for the Swedes, Bernardsson, Ali, Ekdal, Johansson, Matua Johansson's the goalkeeper as well. Number 12, Karlstrom, Nelson, Norfeld, Nygren, Semmer, Smith, Starfelt, Svanberg, and Zanelli. So a couple of minutes played at the start of the second. We will have extra time and penalties if we can't be separated. The winner plays Paraguay on the 4th of July. And at the moment that will be the French. You can follow the match on your national broadcaster. You are listening to Independent Studio-based off-tube commentary of this round of 32 match between France and Sweden. And here come the French, although they've lost their way. Manga's touch is heavy. The French win it back as Elise inside the centre circle takes it towards the right-hand side. This is promising for Elise. Had a really good first half. Knocks it out towards this right-hand side to Dembélé. Infield to Kunde. 35 yards for goal. Mbappé with the ball back out towards Dembélé. It's not going to reach him though. And the Swedes clear towards the halfway line. Isak will give chase, but it's sided up by Upamecano. Goes all the way back to Maynard just on the edge of his own penalty area. Knocks it on towards Saliba, finds Upamecano. And it's Dembélé down this near side. 1-2 between himself and Elise. There's some acres of space over on the left-hand side if they find him, but Elise's back out towards this side and Kunde. Infield again to the Bayern Munich man. It's in the Swedish player is Elliot Stroud, and plays it back inside his own half to Upamecano. Now Saliba, left-hand side of the centre circle. Dean to scoop one down the line for Barcola to chase. Barcola's going to get there as well. Shows his pace there. The PSG man, left-hand side of the penalty area, and good work in the end from Daniel Svensson. Good ball play. The French on the throw in right next to the corner flag down their left-hand side, deep inside the Swedish half. Barcola had a huge chance as well, all of his own making in the first half. Fought his way into the penalty area, but then blades the shot over the bar. Mbappé hit the post when he should have scored. Elise hit the post with an incredible effort. A bicycle kick that would have been goal in the tournament. And Dembélé blazed the rebound over as well. He was going to burst the back of the net. The French coming down the left-hand side with Lucadine. To the penalty area, goes back down the line towards Mbappé, and is put out of play by Orlando. So throw into the French. Put inside the Swedish half down the left. Sweden, of course, these days managed by Graham Potter, the former Brighton and Chelsea manager. Didn't work out as well at West Ham United. There's Upamecano inside of the centre circle. Scoops it over towards Rabiot. And Rabiot, Dean had made the run. He's kicked it out towards Mbappé. A couple of step overs from him. Midfield to Upamecano. Like a shot here, and it's not a particularly pretty one in the end. It's Chouameni in the end of the shot, right-footed from all of about 30-35 yards. Lazily over the bar is behind for a goal kick to the Swedes. And we played about 5 minutes in the second half. 1-0 to France. Kylian Mbappé. Mbappe's 5th goal of the tournament. And his 61st goal for his country. He's the leading French scorer now, of course. And Bleus is up on Lionel Messi as well, not just in the Golden Boot, but of course in the most goals ever scored in the World Cup. Mbappé now has 17 World Cup goals in 18. This is his 18th match. Absolutely incredible. It's almost a goal a game. In fact, if he were to get another one today, we certainly wouldn't know it massively. He would be on track for goals per game. 1 per game exactly it would be. Here's Saliba and Upamecano. Brings it inside the centre circle for the French. And then he loops one out towards Barcola. Barcola in field towards Mbappé on the head, but it's cleared. There's the halfway line, there's the battle between Gyökeres and monumental this time. Monumental comes out on top, gets there ahead of the Arsenal man. And the French once more dominating possession. They had something about them this week just before half-time after going behind, but they've done nothing since the restart. Lovely ball out towards his near side. Dembélé, and there's the cross from Koundé. Cuts it back towards Elise. It's not going to reach him. Sweden clear down towards his near side, but Elise retrieves, and France are on their way again. There's the ball through Dembélé. Tried to knock it towards the left-hand side. Mbappé, I think he was offside. Indeed he was. And it'll be a free kick for the Swedes on the edge of the penalty area. Dembélé himself on 4 goals in the tournament. 5 for Mbappé now, 4 for Dembélé, 6 of course for Lionel Messi, who's leading the way. And still around the 32 game to come, of course, for Argentina. Goal kick is taken by goalkeeper Vidal Zertestrom. And towards the far side, the French are cleared. Elise now. Drives it down towards Mbappé, he's not going to find it, but the Swedes are cleared, but they've got no outlet at the moment. And the French will come again through Chouameni. Now Elise. Elise's going to thread one through. This could be 2-0. It is 2-0. It's drilled in by Bradley Barcola. In the 53rd minute, the French have doubled their lead. And the tournament favourites are heading towards the last 16. And the unstoppable force of the French in this incredible front four that they have. And now 2 of them have got on the score sheet. First Mbappé, and now Bradley Barcola in the 53rd minute. It's France 2, Sweden 0, and they're laying down a marker here, the French, to the other teams in this tournament. This is the standard that you have to reach. This is the team that look unstoppable, to be fair. It was really sloppy from the Swedes actually to lose possession in the middle of the park. Suddenly it opened up. Played through to Elise, and it's a brilliantly slipped ball through towards Barcola. Takes one touch, and then from about 12 yards out, right-footed, he lashes it into the roof of the net. It's a brilliantly worked goal, but it's the first time really we've seen Sweden really sloppy in possession, losing it, and the French take full advantage. Well, would you expect anything less from this side, who lead by 2-0 here in New Jersey? And there does not look to be a way back here for the Swedes. In fact, you can just see the French going on to get more. The games in the last 32 thus far have actually been really close, haven't they? The ones we've had so far. The Norwegians won by a single goal earlier. The Moroccans won on penalties against the Netherlands. The Paraguayans won on penalties against Germany. Brazil won by a single goal, and Canada won by a single goal, but this looks to be the first of these last 32 games that is going to be won by the looks of things, and there's still time, of course, quite handsomely, and it's no surprise that it's the French who have swept everybody before them so far in this tournament, and they're looking to do the same against Graham Potter's Sweden, who trail by 2-0. Back it goes towards the edge of the penalty area. And off out towards the far side is Svensson. Bringing it towards the halfway line. They did have a little bit of a response, actually, the Swedes, to going behind in the first half, just as we entered stoppage time. They had a couple of nice moments, actually, in stoppage time. And they need a response now, but they need a goal. Bergvall plays it back inside his own half. Bielka. Square to his left-hand side, and that's the ball forward down the centre by Viktor. That's going all the way through to the goalkeeper for his first time. And there's the header back inside the French half by Goodmanson. Giving the space now for Bergvall. Pokes one out towards the far side. Here's an angle, an opportunity for a run. Down towards the byline he goes. Needs to get the cross in, but he gets a corner because it hits Luca Dean. Better from the Swedes. And they get their first corner of the afternoon to be taken from the far side. And they've got to make the most of these opportunities, the Swedes. They really are. They're not going to outplay the French as far as football goes with the talent that this French side have got. at their disposal, not just on the pitch at the moment, but on the bench as well. It's frightening what you see on that bench. And when you think about the fact that the likes of Junior Coupier couldn't even get in the team, frightening really, isn't it? So corner from the far side for the Swedes. Jostling inside that 6-yard area. It's an absolute mess in there. I wouldn't be surprised at all if this is taken as just a foul and end up being a goal kick, a free kick to the French, but which you saw when it comes left-footed. It's a decent effort and evades absolutely everybody in the end. I think possibly it may have been came off the glancing head of Lucas Bergvall, but harmlessly behind. And a goal kick to the French, 56 minutes. France 2, Sweden 0. As it stands, it's going to be France against Paraguay. Paraguay did so well to get there. Maybe the French would be bigger favourites for that game than they are for this one, than they were before kick-off for this one. I would have thought Maynard to take this one. And surely Graham Potter's got to be thinking about some changes on the touchline. Ball through his head and clear. That's the header from Saliba, looped on by Rabiot. Controls it beautifully inside the centre circle and goes out towards Alanga. Alanga for the first time ball back down the line and inside the Swedish half to Svensson. They're retreating again back towards the edge of their penalty area. In the end, forced to go long, the Swedes, and that is too long because it bounced at the time to go all the way through to the French goalkeeper, Mike Maynard. And to Rabiot. Rabiot finds the Moncano, and it goes to Elise. Turn by Elise, cuts in field, and he goes back to Moncano, out to Dembélé. Dembélé back down the line to Elise. Red swing with the Swedes at the moment. Dembélé again back to Elise inside his own half. Dembélé, Elise. This has become a training session now for the French. And the Swedes are just chasing shadows, and it's tiring in itself as they go back to Mike Maynard. Out to Saliba. Saliba into Mbappé, who's taking up a deep position inside his own half at the moment, actually. Dembélé into Mbappé, brings it over the halfway line, left-hand side of the centre circle. At any stage, you just put the afterburners on, can't he? Kylian Mbappé. Dembélé now. Koundé in the inside right position. Finds Elise. Elise's in the right wing position now. Up against the penalty area. On it goes to Koundé. Can he get the cut back? No, he can't. He just plays it inside the 6-yard area straight to the goalkeeper, Jakob Zetterstrom. And right initially from the French, but they could put the ball back from the dead ball line. The way intended. Here's Lucas Bergvall, the challenge, but manages to get it out to Alanga over on that far side. He's been pushed back by Barcola, the latest French goal scorer, and goes all the way back to his goalkeeper in the end. Touches it off to Victor Lindelof, the Swedish captain, and to Bergvall. Isak just to the one side of the centre circle, goes back towards Svensson again, and inside the centre circle it goes with Iyari. Iyari's challenge, just manages to keep hold of it though. Manages to poke it towards Svensson. They then go long down the right side. Gyökeres will chase up against William Saliba in between the two French players. Goes down, wants a free kick, he's not going to get it, and it'll be a goal kick for the French. And well, he's gone down holding his face. I wouldn't see a replay of this. I'm getting a replay of it now. Oh, he did get a bang in the nose. He did get quite a nasty bang in the nose, actually. I thought he was putting that on Gyökeres. I think he was making more of it, but he did get a nasty bang in the nose from the Moncano. It was all accidental. And here come the French again over the halfway line. Barcola. Now Elise. Mbappé, or that's a really sloppy one from Mbappé. And Isak has it momentarily for the Swedes, then loses possession. And the French have it again with Rabiot. Then goes from Luca Dean. Here's Barcola again. For the confidence now following that goal, Bradley Barcola. Preferred to Desire Doué. And that one's paid off for Didier Deschamps. Here's Mbappé, 35 yards from goal, just to left to centre. Scoops one out towards the right side of the penalty area to Dembélé. Brings it down beautifully in the chest. Infield to Koundé. Pokes it to his left-hand side of Rabiot. Rabiot goes back out to Dembélé. Rabiot gets the ball back immediately. Now Mbappé, just outside the D, scoops one in towards Rabiot. Can Rabiot get there? It's cleared out towards the right side of the penalty area, retrieved by Koundé. Dembélé, right corner of the penalty area. Infield to Elise. Elise lines one up. Oh, he curls it towards the far post. It's a good save. Rydell Zetterstrom diving towards his right-hand side. It was a nice height for the goalkeeper. You see exactly what Elise was trying to do. Curling it towards that far side, that far post. Good save. A save you'd expect the goalkeeper to make. It's gone behind. It'll be a corner to the French. Their 7th of the afternoon. As Elise looks to get himself on the score sheet. 2 of the French Fab Four up front on the score sheet so far. I don't think it's all surprised to see if Elise and Dembélé join that. It's Elise to take this corner over on the far side for the French, left-footed out swinging. And it comes, it's a good header clear actually at the near post by Gyökeres. There's plenty on it. Luka retrieves for France. And Mbappé, 40 yards from goal. Infield to Chouameni. Finds Koundé in the inside right position. Nobody outside him, so goes back in field again. To Upamecano, leaves it for Chouameni. Mbappé, inside left position. Now then, takes it onto his right boot. Onto Dembélé, just outside the D. Back to Chouameni. It feels like they're building another one here, the French. You feel at any stage they could just put the afterburners on. Get super boost on and score another goal. As Rabiot scoops it out to Barcola. And it's party pieces at times as well from the French. 1-2 between Rabiot and Saliba. Rabiot again. Goes out to Barcola. Luka is bustling up, get down that left-hand side. He goes in field to Mbappé, lays it off to Elise. Elise back out to Luka, levelled it to the penalty area. Thought about the cross, but there's no point anyway because there's no French player inside the penalty area getting the end of his cross. It's so congested over on the far side. Here's Mbappé. He's going to switch play towards his right-hand side. Brought down beautifully, sticks to the boot of Ousmane. Dembélé down towards the byline. Here's Koundé. Pokes it back out to Dembélé. Dembélé with a cross towards the near post, and it almost found Elise, but it bounces in front of the goalkeeper, and he retrieves and then bowls it out quickly to Elanga over on that far side. Anthony Elanga. Svensson. 63 minutes on the clock. France 2, Sweden 0. France cruising through for the last 16 to play Paraguay on July 4th. The Swedes have possession over the halfway line with Ayari. Challenge from Barcola over on that far side. I think he's going to play. It will be a Swedish throw. And it's played over towards the far side by Goodmanson. Throwing them for the Swedes, which they've already taken. Here's Blagult again. Plays back inside the centre circle. He is Viktor Lindelof. He's got Goodmanson towards his left-hand side, and he's found Goodmanson. He plays it over down the line to Yari, and then gets the ball back. And off again. Well, they're seeing more in possession with Swedes, but they don't look like they're going to create anything of note. But a goal could change everything if they could somehow get themselves a goal. Could put a whole different complexion on this game. Elanga battling from over on the far side. Gyökeres lays it off back to Elanga. Gyökeres again. This is better from the Swedes. Let's try to smuggle it back towards Elanga, and the French get it clear. Barcola. Now then. Kylian Mbappé. He's got Elise ahead of him. Elise! Chance for the third! And I think it took a little deflection. It's gone behind, I think, for a corner. Elise left-footed. Threaded through by Kylian Mbappé. Yet again showing his pace. All came about from Sweden actually committing them forward, trying to get a goal to get themselves back into it. The French quick to break. Mbappé through to Elise, and it's a really good bit of defending actually. I think it was tracking back was Lucas Bergvall to get something on it. There's a couple of changes for the Swedes, and Ali's going to come on, as well as Besfortsanelli. It's Bergvall and Stroud, so that was their last touch for Bergvall. Got that ball behind for a corner. Elliot Stroud has been very quiet, is off. And Taha Ali is on, as is Besfortsanelli. It's a corner to France. They've gone short. Elise to Mbappé. Open goal, of course, from a short corner. Elise whips the cross in. It's a decent delivery, and the keeper does really well to claw it clear out towards the Sears side. It's retrieved by Koundé back into the box. It'll fall for, probably the wrong man. It's for Upamecano in the end, who hits his shot into the ground. It loops up and goes through to the goalkeeper. It's no time at all in bowling this ball out to Elanga. And it goes to Isak. Isak's first touch is poor, and the French clear towards the halfway line. It is retrieved, though, by Blesfort Zanelli inside the centre circle for the Swedes, one of the two substitutes. And he finds the other substitute, Ali, down this near side. He's gone beyond Jules Koundé there. He's done well. Breaks it through to Isak. Will it go through? Oh, he tried to get it through to Gyökeres. Doesn't find him. And Upamecano clears hurriedly and out of play over on the far side. The Swedes have a throw-in. That was better from Sweden. And Potter has made those couple of changes in the hope that he can shake things up a little bit and try and find a goal to get his team back into this game, because at the moment the French are in cruise control. As Mbappé plays it over the halfway line. Gets the ball back now to the right of the centre circle and finds Lindelof towards his left-hand side. Now it's Goodmanson. Down the line it goes towards the substitute Zanelli. And again, the Swedes are retreating here back towards the edge of their own 18-yard line. Just to retain possession, the French continue to push out. Look at Bielka. Turns again, goes all the way back to Lindelof. Lindelof closed down by Mbappé. Manages to get it through towards Isak, left-hand side of the centre circle. And then the switch from right to left, searching for Elanga. He's not going to find Elanga. And it's dealt with by Luca Dean, who puts the ball out of play. Throw to Sweden, level the edge of the penalty area down the right side. Midway through the second half. And you know what that means? There goes the chorus of boos. It's the hydration break midway through this second half. It's France 2, Sweden 0. Mbappé on the stroke of half-time. Bradley Barcola 8 minutes into the second half. The French are cruising. The French are heading to the last 16. Mbappé has his eye on the golden boot. He's up to 5 now, just one behind Kylian Mbappé. Of course, the way the draws worked out, the French and Argentinians can only meet now in the final in separate halves of the draw, so we could potentially see a repeat of the final 4 years ago. Sure, all the teams in the tournament who might have other things to say about that, but we shall see. So maybe you can follow the match on your national broadcaster. You are listening to an independent studio-based off-tube commentary of the last 32 time between France and Sweden, with France leading by 2 goals to 0. Winners, of course, in 1998 and 2018, looking for their third title, their third start on the shirt, of course. And Sweden, well, this could be the end of the road for them. They finished third, of course, in their group. They started off finishing Tunisia by 5 goals to 1, and then incredibly they then lost the next game by 5 goals to 1 to the Netherlands, who obviously since exited the competition on penalties. They had that 1-1 draw against Japan, another team that have exited the tournament. So if they do go out tonight, as it looks as if they will, and all 3 teams from Group F have been eliminated in the round of 32. For the French, well, they started off with a 3-1 win against Senegal, 3-0 win against Iraq, and then a 4-1 victory against Norway, who have made it through to the round 16. And just 3 teams that won all 3 of their group games, along with Mexico and Argentina. And they're already pre-tournament favourites before a ball was kicked. So I think that's been justified and emphasised more by their performances so far in this tournament, by the first 3 games in the group phase, and certainly the first 70 minutes of what we've seen so far this evening, leading by 2 goals to 0. It could really have been more as well. Certainly in the first half they had many opportunities to extend that lead. It's actually 65% for the French, 20 shots in total, 9 of those on target, and just the 4 for the Swedes, but just 1 of those being on target. Just a reminder of what else is happening. The Mexico-Ecuador game is on at 2 a.m. BST. Thrown for Sweden as the game recommences following the second half hydration break. Midway inside the French half, over on the right hand side, and it comes. There's a little flick on there, could have been dangerous. Volleyed clear by Upamecano. And the French could have a break on here. Dembélé, through it goes. It's Kylian Mbappé. Kylian Mbappé onto Elise. Elise for 3-0. Michael Elise, keeper saves. Poor first touch by Elise. It was put on a plate for the Bayern Munich man. From Kylian Mbappé, he was unselfish. He could have taken it on himself, to be fair. Mbappé decided to thread it through to Elise. Clean through and goal. His first touch is just a little bit heavy. He still gets the shot in, but due to that heavy touch, the keeper had narrowed it down, closed him down. And in his shot, his tame shot really hits the goalkeeper and keeps hold of it. Should have been 3-0 to France. And that is the flavour maybe what's to come, because the Swedes have got to commit them forward, haven't they? They need a goal to get back in this game. And of course, they're going to be exposed at the back. And that's exactly what happened. They've got the pace of the likes of Mbappé and Michael Elise. They're going to tear them apart, aren't they? Now, talking of pace, Alanga has possession over on the far side for the Swedes. The French have cleared down the line. It will be retrieved for the Swedes. Down with Svensson. Swedes run out towards his near side. It's the substitute Ali. Making a run on Jules Koundé. Cuts infield, goes back out onto his left foot. Down towards the byline he goes. Koundé is there, and that will be... Well, I think that should be a corner, but the referee has given a goal kick. I thought the last touch came off Koundé. The French have cleared long quickly. He'd gone long. I think Mike Mayman spotted Mbappé in space inside the Swedish half, but it's got too much on from Mbappé, and the Swedes have it again under the opener, Viktor Lindelof. Lindelof now inside the centre circle. 17 minutes left on the clock. Square to his left, and Gudmundsson over the halfway line to Ali. It's a good run by him down this left hand side. In fact, it looked like he had the beating of Koundé initially. It took too long to ball into the box, and now Koundé to get the challenge on. Ball in the centre. Isak gets a little flick on, but there's a flick on. Included a little bit of hand. Referee has given the free kick. Just a little replay of that. The decision. Yeah, definitely came off Koundé. It's a pretty poor decision. Here come the French again. Kylian Mbappé puts on the afterburners over on the far side. Then leaves it for Barcola. The French have still yet to make a change. Rabiot, 25 yards from goal. Oh, threads it through. Here's a chance for 3-0. It's slotted in by Kylian Mbappé. He's done it again. His 6th goal of the tournament. His 62nd goal for his country. And Kylian Mbappé and France are heading through to the last 16. It's a brilliantly worked goal from the French. And you just cannot stop this incredible front four. If you keep Ousmane Dembélé quiet, you've got Mbappé. If you keep them quiet, there's Elise. And if you keep him quiet, there's Bradley Barcola. How on earth do you stop all 4 of them from performing? And tonight, it's Mbappé who will be getting the headlines. He slots that one away right-footed. It's a brilliant finish. Well, and he closes up on Messi as well. Record goal scorer. He's onside, just looking at a replay. Times his run perfectly. The ball through is absolutely brilliant as well. And right-footed, he curls it towards the goalkeeper's left-hand side into the corner. And it's France 3, Sweden 0. It's game over. If it wasn't game over before that 3rd goal from Mbappé, it certainly is now. The 74th minute. And the ball through, I think it's Elise, indeed it is. The ball through to him from Elise is absolutely brilliant. That's Elise's 4th assist of the tournament, and that puts him level actually with Bruno Guimaraes for Brazil. And we got one yesterday in that dramatic finish. And the French have made a change before the game's kicked off again. Double change, in fact. Dembélé and Koundé off. And Doué and Gusto on. So just to confirm, Malo Gusto of Chelsea is on. Desire Doué has come on as well. And Dembélé makes way. been quite quiet tonight, Dembélé, but as I said, it's you can keep one of them quiet. You can't keep all of them quiet. It's impossible, isn't it? And the French lead by 3, and it could get worse, it could get ugly for the Swedes, who of course conceded 5 against the Dutch. So Jules Koundé is off, as is Ousmane Dembélé. Desardu and Malo Gusto are on. And the French are heading through. And the Swedes, it could get messy for them. Here's Gyökeres, towards the edge of the penalty area. Can he get the ball back? No, he can't. And the French will clear. And this is the problem now, because there's so much pace in this French team. Forward they come again, looking for the 4th. Here's Elise, Mbappé is there, still Elise, gets up towards the right side, Desardu, towards Mbappé, it's just behind him. Should have found him really, it was a poor ball by Desardu. The Swedes have cleared, Rabiot picks it up again, 35 yards from goal. I cannot see this ending 3-0 the way it's going. The French look in the mood for more, don't they? Rabiot, left-hand corner of the penalty area. And it goes towards that far side of Blagult. So Blagult has stayed over on the left-hand side. Desardu is on the right-hand side now in place of Ousmane Dembélé, and then Malo slots in place of Jules Koundé on the right-hand side. All the way back towards the goalkeeper it goes for the French, and that's Malo Gusto with his first touch. Look at Saliba now. Knocks it on to Chouameni, just outside the centre circle. He's got Gyökeres and Isak around him. Isak did have a couple of chances in the first half, which he couldn't take. And down goes Chouameni. That'll be a free kick to the French to the left of the centre circle. And the French are going to make another change. And it's going to be Lucas Digne to come off. Lucas Digne of Aston Villa, and he's replaced by one of the Hernandez brothers. It's Teo, who plays for AC Milan in Serie A. Straight swap down that left-hand side of defence for the French, who lead by 3 goals to 0. 12 minutes left on the clock. You can follow the match on the national broadcaster. And the French are flying, and rightly so. Favourites for this tournament. And who's going to stop them, really? There's no weakness in this team, is there, really? He's up and calm. It's not going to quite reach Rabiot. The Swedes can bring it away through a Langa. Now this could be interesting for Langa. Can they slot that through to Gyökeres? No, they can't. It's just too far in front of the Arsenal striker. And they can't it as well. He clears. Down the line it goes for the French. Held up by Desardu. Beginning of the defenders, won himself a free kick just shy of the halfway line down the right-hand side for the French. There's Elise. And Elise onto Mbappé. Goes out to his left-hand side of the penalty area. Blagult. Blagult just holds it up, waits for the overlap. There it comes. And the ball into the box isn't a great one. Cleared out towards the far side. And the Swedes clear long, but there's nobody there in a yellow shirt. It's Chouameni who retrieves for the French. Mbappé. The tricks. Back to Chouameni. Now it's Elise in a central position. Goes up towards the inside right position. Malo Gusto. Finds Desardu. Blagult preferred to Doué in the starting lineup, but he's got his opportunity now, Doué. His PSG teammate remains on the pitch over on the left-hand side for the French. They play the ball back inside their own half. Here's William Saliba. And that Philip is ever in the central defence for the French. Now Doué. Gusto's continued his run, but Doué's gone in field. Still Doué. This is good from Doué. Still Doué. Oh, if he finished that off, would have been one of the goals of the tournament. In the end, his shot is fairly weak, and it's a comfortable save towards his left-hand side for the goalkeeper, Vidal Zetterstrup. Inside the last 10, France 3, Sweden 0. 2 for Mbappé, and 1 for Bradley Barcola. And a correction on the assists as well. It's 5 assists now for Blagult. He is top because he's got 2 today. And here he is again over the halfway line towards Rabiot. Doesn't quite find Rabiot, and the Swedes can bring it clear through Sinelli out towards Elanga. Hope down the line, Sinelli. There's the cross. Call for Isak. It almost did at the near post, but in the end it's just trickled through to the goalkeeper, Mike Maynard. And here come the French again. It's really open now, and it's open for more goals for the French. Over the halfway line they come. Theo Hernandez. Bradley Barcola inside the penalty area. Barcola twisting, turning. He wants a fourth here. Still Barcola! And it's put behind by the goalkeeper, trying to beat him at the near post. I think he should have gone far post or squared it, maybe, Barcola. His initial work is really, really good. Leaves 2 defenders down on the ground as he chops it back onto his left foot. And then the keeper saves with his legs. Good save by the goalkeeper. And here's a change for Sweden. They're bringing on Benjamin Nygren, the Celtic player. And also Svanberg as well. Number 19. Those were Wolfsburg in the German league. It's a corner for the French over on the far side, down the French left. Inside the last 8 of the 90. We'll be having any extra time, any penalties in this one. This is comfortable for the French. In it comes. There's the header clear by Lagerbielke. Retrieved by Marlo Gusto. And Tchouameni inside the centre circle onto Kylian Mbappé. Mbappé is on a hat-trick as he loops one out towards his near side. The attendance is in, 80,663. But as I'll do, it just shows too much of that one to Goodmanson, who clears long inside the French arc, but the French will retrieve them. Planning now they've got the change, and I can see Jean-Philippe Mateta is being readied along with Ryan Cherky, the Manchester City player. Just to confirm those, a double change for the Swedes some moments ago. It was the 2 players going off as Yari, the number 18, and Svensson. Daniel Svensson, the Dortmund player, the number 8. France with possession over on the far side. Bradley Barcola. Rabiot goes all the way back to Hernandez. Goes to Tchouameni. Tchouameni back to Upamecano inside the centre circle for the French. On to Gusto. Elise. Elise finds duo towards his right hand side. Back in front of Rabiot. Rabiot back to Elise. Doué now, centre inside the Swedish half. Switches way out towards the left-hand side now. Theo Hernandez. Mbappé. Upamecano. Mbappé picks it up again, about 45 yards from goal. Ball on his right foot. Swings it out towards this near side. It's one to chase for Elise, and Elise can't quite wrap his foot around it. Goes behind with a big goal kick, and that'll be an opportunity for some changes down this near side. And Mbappé is going to be one of those. Not going to get his hat-trick, Kylian Mbappé, because he's giving the captain's armband to Tchouameni, which means he's going to be one of the 2 to be replaced. And Michael Elise as well, by the looks of things. He's done his job though, Kylian Mbappé, hasn't he? His 5th and 6th of the tournament, to put him level with Lionel Messi at the top of the goal-scoring charts. And Cherky and Mateta are on, so Elise and Mbappé are off for France. And just to confirm, Kylian Mbappé now has as many goals in the championship as he has games over 3 tournaments. This is 3rd, of course. Winner in 2018, runner-up in 2022. Scored a hat-trick in the final, of course, as well. I think a free kick to the Swedes, will it? It will indeed. And they go inside the French half. And anything now for the Swedes would just be a consolation at this stage. We're inside the last 5 minutes. France 3, Sweden 0. Mbappé in the 45th minute. Barcola with the second after 53. And then 74, Mbappé with the icing on the cake. But the 3rd is second of the game. Elanga swings the cross in. There's Saliba to head clear. Bounces just towards this side of the corner flag. So it'll be a throw-in for Sweden, deep inside the French half, down the Swedish right-hand side. Mbappé sits on the touchline. He can put his feet up now and start thinking about Paraguay in the last 16. Looks as if the Swedes are going to go for the long throw here. Indeed they do. There's the header clear by Hernandez. And then a snapshot on the volley by Svanberg. I think it's his first touch actually since coming off the bench. He's well wide of the goalkeeper's right close to behind for a goal kick to the French. Mbappé, 62 goals now for his country. Unstoppable. And just seeing a replay of Mbappé coming towards the near side as he was replaced by Jean-Philippe Mateta, and Didier Deschamps was bowing down to him. Really, really nice to see. And nice to see Didier Deschamps as well, with that smile on his face as well, after the difficult times he's had over the last week, of course, with the passing of his mother. Back in America now, following the funeral, and hoping to see his side through to victory over the next couple of weeks. Here come the French again. The ball straight through to Barcola, left-hand side of the penalty area. Barcola holds it up, and eventually the offside flag goes up as he plays it back towards Hernandez. And it'll be a free kick to the Swedes. So the Golden Boot race is on, and what a Golden Boot race it is. Kylian Mbappé has 6, Lionel Messi has 6, and Erling Haaland has 5. Ousmane Dembélé unable to add to his 4 that he's got. It really is a who's who of world football, isn't it? With those names. The big names have really came to town in this tournament, they really have. And so are the big teams. None bigger than this French side at the moment. Here come the Swedes looking for consolation. Svanberg over the halfway line, out to Elanga. Elanga with a low ball towards the edge of the penalty area. That's cut out, out towards the far side. That'll be a throw in to Sweden. We're inside the French half, down the Swedish right. As we see a shot of another French legend in the crowd this afternoon, David Trezeguet. Here come the Swedes down the right-hand side, and they swing on into the box here. It's Elanga. Plenty forward here. Svanberg. He's back towards the halfway line. Here's Lindelof just outside the centre circle. Takes it towards the left-hand side. Still Lindelof. 1-2 between himself and Gyökeres. Might come back to Gyökeres! Gets the shot in. Good save. Down towards the left-hand side by Mike Maiden. Well, I tell you what, he hasn't had a lot to do, Mike Maiden. But he was alert there to get down towards his left-hand side and push away that Viktor Gyökeres shot. It was really well worked between Gyökeres and just too close to him. And pushed clear by the AC Milan goalkeeper. Another change for the Swedes. Isak is being replaced. Well, Nelson it is to replace him, number 25. Gustav Nelson, who plays for Blagult in the Belgian league. And we're inside the 90th minute now, so he's not going to get much of an opportunity here as his side try and chase a consolation for their fans, really more than anything else. A memory for them. Number forward now for the French. Mateta will chase, but the decision will go the other way. Free kick to Sweden. Here's Lindelof. Into Goodmanson. Now Lokobielka. It goes to Lindelof. And it's just whatever time the fourth official feels the need to add on at the end of this 90 that separates France and a place in the last 16 as Desire Doué chases down this near side. That's what Goodmanson does well, and then plays back to the goalkeeper. That counts to his left-hand side of his penalty area. Goodmanson goes long left-footed. There's the header clear for the French. It goes out of play. Throw in for Sweden halfway down the left-hand side. We are in 4 minutes of stoppage time. And this result has been known for some time, but it's never been in doubt, has it really? just thinking back to the first chance of the game, the first opportunity of the game inside the first couple of minutes, which actually fell to Sweden. It was a decent opportunity as well for Alexander Isak, who just opened up for him, just on the edge of the penalty area. And the Liverpool forward, well, it was a tame effort from him, straight through to Mike Maynard. And from then on, the French dominated. It took them until the 45th minute to get that opening goal. An opening goal they really deserved. They'd already hit the upright a couple of times. And then a couple of really, really big opportunities that weren't taken. Desire Doué, I saw the Bradley Barcola blazed over, as did Ousmane Dembélé. Mbappé hit the post, Michael Olise hit the post. Mbappé then got that opener before half-time. And it was never in doubt. The second half just continued. The French dominating. Here they come again, and they get a fourth towards the end. On it goes to Doué. Doué now advancing towards the edge of the penalty area, gets the cross in towards Mateta. Left-footed, could keep it down. The Crystal Palace forward. Places it over the bar. Goal kick. Lovely fighting ball in from Doué though. And it's there to be attacked for Jean-Philippe Mateta at the far post, but left-footed. He plays it over the bar, can't keep it down. Just moving into the third minute of stoppage time. It's been played. As the Swedes bring it over the halfway line, he's Ali down this near side. Quite a bit of a difference actually as he's coming down this left-hand side. It's put out of play. Doué backtracking down this near side. Throw in for the Swedes, and they were taken by Goodmanson. Goes long towards the edge of the penalty area, and the French will get it clear. And then Carney. Now Gyökeres gets his first touch, goes for the 1-2, loses it. Now can the Swedes find something right at the end here? Here's a Langer, 35 yards from goal, just a right of centre. Low ball down towards the byline, and it's just a little bit short. There's an alley, out towards the far side. Hernandez brings it clear now. The French might be on for a fourth here. Doué's making the run, as is Mateta. Got to time it right. Gyökeres can't find Desire Doué. Should have done as well. It's poor from the Manchester City man. And Sweden can clear down this near side. We're in the final minute of stoppage time. It's run clear down this near side by Tahari. Loses it, but unfairly, says the referee, as Gyökeres gets back to try and win the ball, puts it down and be a free kick to Sweden, just inside the French half. Had to thread that ball through to Desire Doué, really clear through on goal. It's a really poor ball. Seeing a shot of Didier Deschamps with his head in his hand. He didn't do much for his chance of starting in the latter stage of this tournament. Around Gyökeres, I don't think he will, and I think the four that we've seen up front today will be the four going forward, providing they're all fit, with Barcola on the left, Olise, Dembélé, and of course Mbappé. The cross is swinging from the right-hand side for the Swedes. French have got it clear, and Langer retrieves back into the penalty. It goes, shot comes in, and it's a comfortable save, but it wasn't dealt with particularly well by the goalkeeper, Mattias Svanberg. Trying to beat the goalkeeper at the near post, pushes it clear out of play over the far side. We played the 4 minutes of stoppage time, and we just await the final whistle. There it goes, and the tournament favourites are through to the last 16. As comfortable can be in a round of 32 game for Didier Deschamps back in America to see his side swat Sweden out the way. They maintain their 100% record in this tournament, 3 out of 3 in the group game, and a 3-0 victory here today. Kylian Mbappé breaking records left, right and centre. Got his 5th and 6th goals of the tournament. In between that, Bradley Barcola getting his 2nd. It's finished here at the New York Stadium in New Jersey. France 3, Sweden 0. Thanks very much for listening, and do enjoy the rest of your evening.
Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok.